Hello, my name's Barry. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than the usual podcast I do. Let's dive in today. The plan is to dive into a comparison of Jonathan Cahn's book, Return of the God, if you've heard of it, or with all the promotion you probably have. But did you ever hear of Michael Heiser's Unseen Realm? If you're into the unseen, into the supernatural stuff, uh, as relates to Christianity, you'll probably be interested in this book review discussion. A friend suggested first, who is Dr. Michael Heiser? He is a theologian who decided to explore uh, the underlying meaning of Psalms 84, where God says to the Elohims something very interesting. And the goal of his book was to reintroduce the modern Christian readers with the worldview of the ancient Middle Eastern perspective, so to get a better understanding of what God is saying in his word. I got introduced to it a while back. Then I decided to reread it. It's very interesting. And how does this compare to Jonathan Cahn's? Well, both men reference a lot of the Babylonian influences on their work. And they do reference certain scriptures. Now, there are some things I love and some things I don't, and I have some concern. What did I like? And yeah, and to an extent, I do appreciate some of the things I saw in Kahn's book. Yeah, it was heavy and I felt depressed, but the thing I appreciated is that he opened the eye of the reader to what was happening and how these spiritual beings, I really don't want to say gods, I really don't, but how these beings operate both in the ancient world and today. And it's amazing. It's kind of like, whoa, a real eye opener to what's happening. He does go to great lengths to show what's happening and how these things are operating in today's culture. And as the scripture in Ecclesiastes says, nothing has changed. Namely, human nature, apparently neither of these. It's still the same principle. Okay, Michael Heiser, he gives help you with having an understanding of what's happening in the supernatural realm. And he doesn't quite go as hardcore as Jonathan Cahn. In fact, it's more like you take a step back and you have a view, and at the same time, you're seeing what God is doing, what Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is doing, and how he's responding. And it's clear God had no problem with confrontation and dealing with these things. And it's more enjoyable learning and discovering it. He even introduced the idea and understanding of what the Nephilim, all these other fantastic things, and gives some good perspective. I actually felt more at peace and relaxed reading Heiser's book because I didn't walk away feeling depressed and like, oh crap. No. And yes, when it came to worship, which I really recommend, in both cases, really, only with Heiser, it was like, man, I gotta worship. I gotta like rejoice. And that's exactly what I did. I listened to Psalms and went into some worship. It was like, yeah, because I felt good reading. But Khan, the need to worship was more like, I need to worship because I don't like the spirit that I'm being inundated with. It was like, oh my God, let's get this depressing weight off me. That's how I was feeling. I was talking to some friends, uh, and they told me, "Barry, it may be that you, that book wasn't for you, and you may not have needed the thing that Khan was given." And I can buy that. I can accept that. So I kind of that doesn't mean I kind of wish that Khan had taken the time to say, "Hey guys, look, I'm just trying to open your eyes and make you aware, but know that God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, is more than capable of knock and clobbering these guys. But you do need to be aware of what's happening so you know how to respond." Yeah, kind of wish he had also told me how to respond. All right. Hopefully, the next time he comes up with something like this, he'll say, yeah, maybe I was a little heavy handed, but that would be my only critique on it. But I'll tell you, are the books valuable? Yeah. Now, there is an area of concern that has less to do with Jonathan Cahn and Michael Heiser. I'll make a very easy illustration. As a Trekkie, could I uh, up until Star Trek Discovery, I actually enjoyed the original Star Trek, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and yeah, to extent Voyager and Star Trek Enterprise, not so much. I enjoy it, but and as a Trekkie, it was a joy to go diving in to the lore of Star Trek. If you want to see what the fandom can do when they put their mind together, go visit the Memory Alpha uh, Wikipedia wiki site. I mean, the Trekkie fan did a beautiful job detailing, and you could get lost. So, how is that relevant to this? It's very relevant. You see, it's very easy to get lost in our hunger to know more about the supernatural. Oh my God, I gotta find out more. What's all this? I gotta more and more. And we forget that we're not supposed to be giving our focus on chasing after all these demonics and learning about, how to, the intricate feeding and all this stuff. Okay? And I admit, as somebody, as a former, well, I guess I may still be a Trekkie. I'll let some other Trekkers comment. Uh, I know it's easy to get lost in our hunger to learn and know more and more. But the reality is, let's not get carried away. Let's keep our focus on Jesus. Let's keep our focus on God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not chasing after uh, insight from ancient mythology. All right. Yes, when the show Moon Knight came out, I did do a little bit of background because I was a little interested, but I put a stop because there was no need. And I appreciate the folks. I forget. I think it was fiction or mythology YouTube channel. My apology, but they did a beautiful job. And I combined it with a quick one. In fact, both of them helped me with learning, but they didn't go overboard with it to such a detail you felt like, oh my God, no. Yeah. And that's something I kind of wish Han would learn the value of give just enough, but not so much that you, eh. And yet we need to be aware. I don't know. There has to be a balance. Hmm. Now, if you happen to be a Cahn fan or you happen to be going to church, encourage him. Encourage him, yeah, to go deep, but try to remember people need to be glorifying God, not focusing on what's going on in this other thing. Okay? We can get so distracted we forget what we're supposed to be doing. So I would encourage them in that respect. Uh, this isn't hate, but I am kind of aware, and I want to encourage, but let's also put our focus on other content, things that actually help people, because we need to be aware of what God is able to do. We need to be aware of what He is capable of doing with us and for us. He wants to empower His church to go and take a firm stand, both in the spiritual and in the natural, and to be involved. God is able to help, but we have to invite Him. We have to ask Him, and choose to cooperate. Ask Him to direct and guide. That's the part that we really need. And yes, I have a dear sweet friend who desires to teach on deliverance and healing, and I'd like go for it. Hope to be able to do something with her. The other thing, all right, and we need to strike a healthy balance. Heck, I had to strike a healthy balance in the content I create, so that it would be of value to you or anyone else who will watch. Mhm. Again, this all ties back to what I was saying about the hunger to know more about the unseen realm or the supernatural. Sure, we all can get caught up in something, all right? And yeah, it does help. But let's be smart, okay? And act with wisdom and to remember who is supposed to get the glory and who are we and what are we talking about here? Yeah. Hey, I hope you enjoy and hope this review and talk is of value. Hey, feel free to look at other things and hope to see you. Uh, see you when I see you. Yeah.